Hello, how you doing? Welcome to C Matrix Reflections. I decided to go ahead and make a second channel because I'm off of TikTok and Instagram now. Well, I still have my profiles, but I'm not really on those apps anymore just because of all the temptations going on, this, that, and the third. So yeah, I figured, you know what, if I want to keep, like, I guess pushing out the gospel in a way, or just to express myself a little more than on the gaming side of the channel, which, by the way, if you want to check that out. Anyways. But no, outside of the gaming stuff, I actually wanted to create a second channel just to be a little bit more down to earth, if that makes sense, you know? I guess it's just for y'all to see the other side of the not so goofy and very expressive side of me. This one is more of the getting to know my brain, picking at my brain a little bit, you know, trying to figure out where I stand outside of the goofiness, if that makes sense. Also, today talk about the faith, because that's very important to me. That's really important to me. And this channel is more dedicated towards, you know, obviously the faith, and I guess helping people to kind of open their eyes a little bit. You know what I'm saying? What if faith isn't never about ever doubting, but actually stepping out anyway? Most people think faith is about being fearless. No. Faith is being broken, terrified, and unsure, confused even, but still stepping out and doing it anyway. So on Wednesdays, what I want to try to do is, well, it may not be every Wednesday, but I want to try to push it for every Wednesday. It's like a little Bible study, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have like deep discussion questions, and then like y'all can talk about like whatever y'all want to talk about in the description, or not description, what the heck? In the comments. Whatever you guys like would want to say in the comments, you know, to try and pick your brains a little bit, you know? So today we're gonna dive real deep into faith a little bit, but also more of like, I guess, the introduction to the channel. So welcome to C Matrix Reflections. Let's start reflecting. Or wait, I'm gonna work on that. Hebrews 11 says, or 11:1, if you want to check that out. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Now, if you peep in the scripture, when it says, Hebrews 11 says, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for. Okay, Spencer, what are you doing? Sorry, I got my dog in my lap. I guess he's trying to get comfortable. I don't know. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. It doesn't say that faith is certain though, but it says that faith is conviction without sight. You just gotta trust something that you can't really see, you know? Think about this for a moment. If you could see everything clearly, would you need faith? Another great example of this would be Peter walking on water. And what chapter is that? Matthew 14, I think? I'm also thinking of the scene from The Chosen when Peter walked on water, but at the time Peter was like, he didn't know what was going on, because I'm pretty sure in The Chosen I guess his wife wasn't able to have a child, and he was mad. He was mad at God because of it, or Jesus really, and he was lost and confused. Peter steps out of the boat, he walks on water, but then he notices the storm and he sinks. Everyone can say something like, "Oh, Peter, you should have trusted Jesus. Jesus was walking on water. He was right there. He was right there. Why did you spaz out? What are you doing?" But he was the only one that walked out of the boat. He was the only one that kind of tested his faith. You know what I'm saying? So he was walking on water for a moment, which, I mean, the faith was there. The disciples who stayed in the boat never sank, but they never actually tried. It's the uncertainty of a lot of things that makes us weary of like trying some things new. Like, even I'll be honest, I was weary about actually, you know, starting this page or even making this video right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? But I also realized that like this is something that I guess a lot more of the world needs, you know? To be real with yourself for a moment. I got a few discussion questions that you guys could talk about in the comments below if you want to, but we're just gonna start with this first. What boat are you staying in because it feels safe? For me, it would probably be, I guess, putting myself out there a little more, trying something new. Currently at work, I mean, I'm still learning, I'm still in training, but it's like pitching to people and trying to get sales. I overthink. It's bad. I overthink like crazy, okay? Even for the YouTube side of things, I still overthink about like how to do this video, how to do this intro, how's the gameplay gonna look? Is this good? Is this bad? What's the outro gonna be like? I wanna do this, I wanna do that. Life, bills, money. The boat that I'm in, oh, no. You know what? Let me redo that. My boat is comfortability. I'm a little too comfortable where I am. There's so much that I yearn for, and yet I'm not putting myself out there to actually pursue it. All these ideas and stuff that I want to do and that I have, and yet I'm not putting in the action to actually do it. Again, because of the overthinking, like, what if it doesn't work? What if it does? Obviously, not everything is gonna go right. Not everything is gonna go your way. Not everything is gonna go according to how you had planned. But having the faith is still trusting God anyway. And everything you do, keep Him at the center of it and just trust it. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it don't work the first time, try it again. Go again. Do it again. But you gotta stop letting your mind try and control and dictate what's going on. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking that first step, you know? We're all human beings, we're all learning. Every mistake is a learning experience. You make this mistake, you don't do it again. And then you learn from that. Obviously, no, we're not perfect, and that's something I really gotta grow out of too. Did you fart? Which this actually leads into the next question. Is it better to stay safe and never try, or step out and risk failing? I'm gonna be honest, staying safe and never trying is probably the worst option, because later down the road you might actually regret it. I guess a good example would be, let's say there's someone that you're attracted to, but you know, you're just admiring them from a distance and not putting yourself out there and saying something. Hey, I think you're really attractive. I would like to get to know you sometime. Let's go on a date. It's really that simple, but that's not how I met my wife. I met her through our young adults leader. He just exchanged our numbers, and then, well, that was it from there. Okay, another great example would be like starting a business. No, making a video, starting a YouTube channel, doing something else, you know what I'm saying? Starting this, doing that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the time, if you don't actually try, that's you overthinking. That's you not, you know, actually taking that step to putting yourself out there, if that makes sense, you know? Stepping out and risk failing, it's a learning experience. If you fail, try again. Whatever mistake or however you fail, it's all just a learning experience. That's how you're supposed to take it. You fall down 7 times, you get back up 8 times. And God's gonna be there to help you stand up. He'll help carry you. Just, again, keep Him at the center of whatever you do. Why do you think Jesus let Peter sink instead of stopping the storm immediately? For me and what I believe, I feel like Jesus let Peter sink instead while the storm was happening was to understand that you got to learn to trust Him during any kind of storm you're going through. You could be going through something crazy, which I apologize, by the way. It's going to be all right. You could be going through any kind of storm, but you got to understand that no matter what, Jesus can bring you peace. He can bring you clarity and understanding even while that storm is happening. So that way then He can help you through said storm, you know? So He let Peter sink to let him know and understand, without me, there's not much you can do. And having that faith is the one way to know that, like, even when it's uncertain and you don't understand it, Jesus is the way. The calm, the cool, and the collected. That probably didn't make a lot of sense, but basically, trust God through the storm and have faith, you know? I feel like He let Peter sink because his faith was lacking, and he had to understand that no matter what storm you're going through, trust Him. The next discussion question, what would faith look like if you acted before feeling ready? That's just courage. I mean, that's faith anyway, to me personally. Faith is basically doing something before you actually feel ready to do it. I mean, there was a lot of people who wasn't called or ready in the Bible. There were a lot of people who actually were like broken or not ready, but God still used them anyway. The Samaritan woman, she was divorced. David was a murderer. Abraham was old. Moses had a speech problem, I think. Peter denied Jesus 3 times, but was still forgiven and used anyway. I feel like God would use broken people or people who's not ready or called for, to show everyone that it doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, or like what you've done. God still can use you in some miraculous ways to help you or to show you love, peace, and understanding. He can use the most broken of people to, well, for one, bring people closer to him, but then two, understand that no one is ever out of his reach. That's one thing I'm still trying to understand, is how can someone love somebody so much, no matter how dirty or broken or no matter what they've done? That's the kind of love that I don't think I will ever truly understand. But it's amazing to think about. Fifth, the final question, do you trust God more when life is calm or when it's chaotic, and why? A lot of us tend to trust God more when things are calm or when good things keep happening. It's like, oh, thank you, God, for everything that you have blessed me with. Oh, thank you for all that I have. And then when things start getting a little shaky, that's when we start losing it, if that makes sense. Here's the thing. We think more about our problems and what's happening right in front of us than actually leaning on him and his understanding and just trusting him through the storm. I'll be honest, I'm guilty of this because like these past few days have been a bit much, I'll to say the least. And I wanted to go to God about it, but it's like, how do I go to God about something, about a problem or problems that's like happening all around me? You know what I'm saying? And then the other thing too is I didn't even know how to talk to him. I didn't even know what to say. But then I read my devotional, right? Because it was February, what, 9th? No, 10th yesterday. It was February 10th yesterday. And it was about life's darkest moments. Looking at 1 Kings 19, 1 through 8. God offers his presence to us in life's darkest moments. When you feel down, cry out for help from others and from God. Perhaps he is preparing you for the strongest moment of your life. It's crazy because I was like, God, I don't even know what to say to you, this, that, and the third. And then I read my devotional and there was my answer. Sometimes it's as simple as, I need your help. God, help me. I don't know how to talk to you about this, but you know my situation. I need your help. I don't know what to do. Help me to lean on you when it feels like everything and too much is happening at once. So we tend to trust God more when life is calm, but when things get chaotic, that's where we definitely got to learn how to lean on him and trust him still. Like I said, it's all just a work in progress. We're all still figuring it out. We're all human. You know, we ain't perfect. There was only one perfect man, and the world still hated him. From what I understand, faith isn't exactly being bold like a hero. In fact, I learned that even superheroes get scared sometimes, you know? Like, a lot happens with them, but they still put themselves out there anyway to, you know, save people, save the world, putting people above themselves. Spider-Man is a great example of this. I'm gonna be honest. It's my favorite superhero, I don't care. The storm is always gonna be there, but so is Jesus. You gotta learn to lean on him at the end of the day. Well, thank you for coming to my little Bible study. I might start doing this from now on, probably. But I also have other ideas I want to do for this channel too. But this is just amongst the first of many things to come. But thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. And for this being the first video on the channel, I'm happy with this. And it's no point even overthinking about it. It's all good. But yeah, this channel is going to consist of, you know, Bible studies or even just being real with y'all for a moment. And of course, skits too. I got some really cool skit ideas that I want to do for the channel. It's gonna be interesting to say the least, you know. But yeah, I will see you all next time. Have a good day. Sayonara. And welcome to C Matrix Reflections.